What to do, what to do. Huh? What's this?
Got it! Big it is!
Well, that was easy.
All right, your next project, ladies and gentlemen, is very simple. You guys and gals have been at this stage learning to model, learning how to take a rough idea and turn it into an amazing idea. And we've had some minor constraints just to make sure that it's in the realm of possibility. And so let's take some of those restraints off at this point. This is a pop figure. All right? Super simple style, super simple, and there's not a lot of rules to it except simple and cool, which that's what we're kind of going for this project. Your next project is you're going to be creating a pop of your own so that you can A, show how awesome a modeler you've become, and B, create something that's unique, amazing, and show the creative process in full action. Let's get this going. All right, so step one. You want to research your project because you don't want to create something that already exists. That's called plagiarism. We're already borrowing an homage of a style, and so we want to be very clear in the way we're going to be doing this project. The next thing is you want to do a rough sketch of your project, okay? And I like to call this the napkin sketch. And if you need a quick reminder of what the napkin sketch is, that's the sketch that you just do to get those thoughts you have in your head and what you are on paper. Once you have that, I want you to go on the internet and use the almighty Google to make sure that your idea is not just something you saw in a store or something when it came to a pop figure, and make sure that it's an original idea because we don't want to cross into plagiarism. We want to keep it into your own creative process. Step two is what I like to call the napkin sketch, and you're just going to use simple piece of paper at this point. Now, in previous projects, I had required you to do 4 different designs. As this project is a hair more significant than the smaller beginner projects, I'm only going to ask you to do one rough drawing. I know. But the big thing here is that it has to still be a very good rough drawing, because if it doesn't, is it really worth it? So make sure you have a really good rough drawing to make sure that the project you're doing is worth the time you're going to put in. And make sure the rough drawing is, let's just be honest, accurate. That's step 2. That's nice and easy. Let's move on. Step 3. This is the part where what you want to do is take your rough drawing or your napkin drawing, depending on how you want to call it, and show it to your classmates. You're looking for constructive criticism. Constructive criticism is vital for the design process. If it's only you looking at the ideas, is it really going to be the best product possible? Every single person has a different perspective, different idea, and we can go on for a whole video on that. But the important part is show your classmates and look for constructive criticism. Once you have your constructive criticism, try and make some changes and take it into account. You're going to then take your napkin drawing and constructive criticism and turn it into the final drawing. And that final drawing is incredibly important because if you don't have that final drawing, it's going to be a little harder to work through the project. And you want to make sure you have a really good final drawing so that when you do this whole project and start to work through it, you have something to base it on instead of trying to come up on the fly. Now, some people are incredibly imaginative and can come up with these designs out of their head. I'm not one of them myself, and it amazes me every time I see one of those people. But the big thing is, you want to make sure that the drawing and the quality you have in front of you is enough to move the process along so you're focusing on how to make the best drawing possible. At this point, you're going to go into Tinkercad and model this drawing. Now, okay, if you look at this whole thing in a big project, it's going to become overwhelming. What I want you to do is look at each part, each section of your project first, and I want you to break it down into smaller projects or this. Let's look at this arm right here. You know, you've got one cylinder here. If we're talking about this elbow, you can use maybe a circle. Hand, you've got like a bit of a wrist. But you get the idea. Break down the project so that it's not overwhelming. Don't look at it as a whole. Look at it as one part at a time. A human face, it's a human face, complex. 2 eyes, nose, mouth, beard. But now you've got it moving. All right. Now, let's get moving in Tinkercad. And that's it. This project is not that complicated, which is the beauty of it, but it's also incredibly complicated in that it's unique, it's you, it's your design, and that's incredibly important. Well, that's it. I hope you really enjoy this project, and let's get making.